Alright guys, I'm actually going to show you how to make your own elevator company. So, I already made my own elevator company, as you can tell here. But normally you use the Cortex base model, the smart drive, or this IVX model, as long as you give credit in the description, which I will have to give credit for this. But, okay, so we're now going to be changing the buttons on these. Like we change the button. So the indicator I'm going to keep, which I did customize, you can see right there. All right. Now we're gonna want to keep the press part in there because that's how you get the button animation to work. If you have the plugin for the button animator, right? So right here, you want to add a part. Search for part, click part. Alright, it's going to be up here. Now make sure you anchor this or else the button will fall apart. So you gotta make sure that the button is anchored, or else the button will not stay together or fall apart. So make sure you anchor it, or the button will just simply fall apart. Alright. Depending on which preference you want for the button, you can create whatever button you want. Right here. So, and now we want to make it smaller. Whatever the ping. Hold on, okay, got that. Alright, so you got to resize the button, and this one's a little bit too big, so you want to make it small. You want to make the button small, as you can see here. Alright, so I'm gonna be, alright, so smallerize the button first. So you want to make sure you center it in with that screw on the bottom, as you can see. You want to make sure it's centered in, like that. Alright, so this part you want to make label as backing. So you gotta make a few part copies. So we're gonna keep this one here. You gotta make, now it is an option. It is an option. So we're gonna be duplicating again because we want to get a negative part. So we're gonna move this one out of the way. That's gonna be for the fake button part, for the press part, that is. So this, you gotta scale it. You gotta scale it slightly smaller than the original. And this is actually how you union these. So make it smaller. Now make sure you have the part stretched out a little bit. Then want to go to model and click negate. And then after that, you want to select the part you want to union with and click union. And as you can see, once you do that, you get this backing part for your button. Alright, and now you grab this part, which is going to be the light. So make another copy. So it has to not be the same size as the backing. So, and it is optional, but I like to do this. Label it. So that way, if you need to remake your buttons in the next generation, at least you know which part is which. So it makes it just easier. Alright, so size it up like this, and alright, I'm actually going to duplicate it. This part is just going to get removed. So now this one here is going to be the light. So I'm actually going to make this one smaller. So this part here, we need to move out so that it doesn't go in the way. There's autosave as well, as you can see. So move that one out of the way, and then size this one. So we're gonna make it so that it's kind of recessed. So you want to label this one light, or else it won't come up with it. Or else it won't change. It won't light up. So, and you want to set this one to. You want to set the material here to neon, and that's going to be the light. So, and then this one here, we want to put in, and we want to make it slightly smaller so the light is visible. Because if you put it just directly in, the light is not visible. So we gotta resize this. And if you're wondering if you're getting where it will only do like one stud, go into models and make sure this one's set to this much. If you unclick it, it's not gonna. If you unclick it, this will happen. So you want to make sure you do 0.001 studs to be able to move it precisely. So we need to make sure just small enough so we can see the light. So button. So just enough to see the light, and we don't want this one to be too big. So we're gonna set that a bit smaller. Now since the light's in a recess, we might as well put it in, which I think it is already contacting the light. Alright. Alright, now we need to label this one as main. We're going to duplicate that and put one in press parts. Then this one is going to be our button. We got to make sure this one is invisible by setting the transparency to 1. And this is just in case there's a light in front of the button. And you stretch it out like this. Right here, and see it's invisible. This will just make it so you're able to click the button. Now you can customize your button color at any time. You can customize your button color as much as you want. So I'm gonna set the main to kind of a bluish color. Select the backing. Before you do that, make sure you use part colors on so you can actually use it. And we could change this one to. You can change this one to lime green, and that's your button. So you got to make sure it is labeled like this, or else your button will not work simply. And then to make it for the other panels, now these panels are indeed separate. So you're gonna want to just duplicate the button, delete the original button, duplicate the new one, and then it's gonna appear here. You gotta make sure you're in the move position. Drag it down. Drag it down here. Now you want to make sure you make it as a intermediate carbon if you have this on a middle floor, like an intermediate floor, so that the buttons will work properly. So we're gonna put this here. Duplicate the button, and then we want to label this one as down. And now for the other one, all we have to do is actually delete the original carbon panel, copy this one, paste it in because it's the same. Alright, same. And you scroll and you drag the carbon. Alright, make sure you line it up properly as you see here. Make sure you line it up properly. You want to delete the up button. And if you want, you could leave it like this, but you could also just center it like that. Like that. You could center it in. Alright. So for the inside, you will want to clone the button, but you don't want to clone it with the down model. You don't want to clone the model that has the direction label. You want to clone with all this. So how I highlight all of them is you hit Control and you highlight it. Now, one thing is you hit Shift and you click, then sometimes it highlights things you don't want to highlight. So holding Control was the best. Do Control C or Command C, depending on if you're using a MacBook. Now we go into here. Now I have a door button, which you could add, which you simply add, remove the door buttons, put the label from these, and put it there. So we're going to be first working on the line button. So for the line, I already labeled it backing. So that is the backing of the button, press part, button, and light. Now if it's called union, then it might be harder to find. So yeah, that's why renaming the union part for the button will help you delete button if you want to put new buttons in. Oh, it's there. Oh, and yeah, this is set to non-smooth plastic. You might want to set this to smooth plastic because I found out smooth plastic works better than regular plastic. So yeah, see here, it is regular plastic. So you might want to switch it over to smooth plastic so that it will work properly. So smooth plastic. Now one thing is, it will indeed do the light if you highlight the light. So you want to make sure this one will stay on. So here, the easiest way to do it is to get both models down, press part, and do not highlight the light if you don't want the light model to also be doing as well. So we simply set this one to smooth plastic. Because I found that with regular plastic, it looks a little bit ugly with the button. I just like it. It's just my preference. But depending on which button you're creating, like Dover, we want a bit of texture, then yeah, that's fine. So right here, you see this button here. So we already set the light to smooth plastic. We need to set that back to neon. Alright, so highlight this with the press part. So you might want to rotate it, as you see right here. Rotate it, and you set the rotate degree to 5 if you want it to be more precise in rotating, and not like 25 as it's defaulted to. So, alright, if you put it here, you want to align it with the braille, as it's called, on the side, like that. And then we want to copy it. Now it is option that you can actually change the color for the align button. So now we're going to be changing this. Now do not delete the label. That's the label for the braille. You do not want to delete that. You do not want to delete it, or else the label will be missing. GH stands for door hold, by the way. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, the reason my floor buttons show an X in Studio, is because the labels automatically apply for custom labels and settings in the Cortex elevator system. So now we're going to be going ahead and removing the door open button, and then pasting this button in. Perfect. Now we want to label these now. So right now they're fine where they are, but if you need to open up specific doors, you want to relabel them. Oh, that's not the right one. You want to relabel them so that it opens specific doors. By default, when they're just set to door, it's only going to open up it's going to open up both doors. So you got to make sure you set it so that it's set to front or rear. So by default, it's going to work properly. Right. Now we want to change the buttons here. So label button. Now, okay. So now when you get the Cortex model, you won't get these brailles because I pulled this off from my friend's elevator company that had this braille because I needed it. And yeah, so and then duplicating would be faster. Alright, for 2. You want to delete the old button. You gotta make sure you delete the old button. Okay, why is my cursor stuck on there? That was weird. Oh, that's the wrong one. Do control Z or command Z to undo that. Okay. Light. Okay. And now we need the backing. Now we're gonna highlight all the rest and drag it over to this side. Now, to do floor 3 is very simple. You just delete the floor model, duplicate floor 2, and just simply relabel it to floor 3. Now, it's optional that you can change the button colors and add your own voices into them, which I did in another video. And now, I better make sure I delete some of these elevators so I don't cause any lag issues. I'll delete this one. Because I found out more when it's a bit of a big elevators, it seems to have issues with lag in studio. Alright. Now your elevator should load up fine. You can actually add your own music if you wanted to. So, and now if we press the button, it works fine.
Doors going up.
And my voice plays. You can add the voices at your leisure. Now they didn't seem to be animating properly because I'm using regular parts. Alright. Okay. Now, we want to add a new code into the lock script that you might have. So, I'm going to go ahead and go into Discord to get the code in. I'm going to replace the original lock script. So go into the elevator. Go into settings. Right here. Scroll down to where you see custom floor label. Now, if there's already a lock script in it, you want to replace it. If it's not, you want to paste it after custom floor labels. So now to add the floors here, you add the number for each call button, I believe. So if you do one there and then one there, it's going to lock both of them. So I'm going to actually do a test on floor 2, and down should be locked. I already told you how to script a locked card reader, which I believe will do both. So we're gonna bring that card out. Bring out the one I made. Is this the right one? Yes, the right. Okay, we want to rotate this. Now this one is running Cortex, so in order to get that to work, I will show you how to get it to work. You want to make sure you have the doors. Nope. You want to make sure you have these doors here. Drag them in. I'll send a link to these ones in the description. And the reason you want to get this all my level doors, if you go into here, there is a model that says put in scripts, server script storage and control U. Put these in the server script storage and ungroup, and then your readers will boot. So since I already have them, it should already be booting up. And then we want to drag this into my elevator company. Scroll down. It's gonna now you want to do this in I think it's in floors. Hold on. Where is it? That's panel. And I think floors is up here. I'm gonna put this in here. My cursor's stuck again. I think that's a bug with Roblox. Oh wait, that's car. There's floors. So you want to drag. Okay. Drag this into floors like that. Go ungroup this. You do not need to rename them. So you simply ungroup them and just delete this. This is just a documentation to delete the unnecessary scripts. So, and go into the reader, and you want to delete floor button lock. But if you're doing this on the floor inside the car, you want to delete car button lock. And then you simply will set it here. It's set here to to make sure it doesn't interfere with the other floors, make sure it's only 2 on the card reader. So I think I should also add something in there as well. So I'm going to go into settings. Alright, so here. Oh. Alright. So we're going to be adding these in there. I will update my card reader, so now the down should be locked, but up should be unlocked. Just need to wait till it loads in. That music's copyright free, by the way. So we need to, now it's best to use admin to fly here if you don't have any floors there. That one is being slow. So now if I press down here, okay, down's supposed to be locked. Oh, I think I know why. That only works in.
Doors open.
I think that only works in
Going
the
down.
So. Let me take a look at the announcement. I think it did mention that. Hold on. I'm gonna visit the documentation site for the. Okay, but I'm saying that lock script doesn't work if you're using stable version. It only, I believe, works in alpha or beta trial. But like I said, it only works in those modes. But that's going to be there for future references. So to mitigate this issue, this will lock both floors, by the way. So we're going to remove that. And we're just going to replace this with the number. So now 1 should be locked. Alright. I'm trying to do something right now. But first, so this is how to create your own elevator company, and also how to get LockScript to work on your elevator company. Now see the carbon there is locked. So when we have a card reader here, you can scan the card and it will unlock the elevator as it should. Alright, now you're probably wondering, you have to get, if you want to do a fixture pack, you have to do it. Oh, I got the new icon studio, but right here, you could use this, but make sure you because these fixtures, like, you could use this as a reference, but please do not put your fixtures on my fixture pack. If you just use this as a reference for it, you can grab the cortex control here and the keys, but not anything that's part of this, except these 3 lanterns here, since these get the colors from the elevator. And yeah, that's the only things you could take from it. So if you want to use that, this time, instead of just duplicating the entire panel to bring it in, we're just gonna be bringing over the carbon. Because you can see here, I made a intermediate one for a middle floor for fire service. Lag. So put the button here, drag here. Now normally you would duplicate the panel if you're starting off from scratch. So 1 carbon is fine for that one. So, and for intermediate, you want to delete the original buttons, bring in the original, put it in. Now you want to adjust it to make sure you have up and down. So bring this up for up, and then we need one for the bottom for down. Then you just simply duplicate that one, drag it into the top floor, delete the original down, drag the new down in place, and then you want to center it. And we're going to be doing the same thing for these right here. You use Alt to select things faster. You use that to select things faster. Use Alt. Alright. So you hold Alt and you select the part. Then you want to select the model right here to delete the whole thing. Then you simply duplicate it in. Alright, and we need to move this there, and then duplicate another one, and label that one up. Duplicate it, move it over to the bottom floor, move the original up, place this one in the call button model, drag it in, and then center it. Right there. And now you can republish this as your own model. Make sure you put generation if you want to make multiple generations out of elevators. And of course, to lock it, you simply add that new code in, and you should be able to lock it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video for how to make your own cortex. See you guys later.